I really thought I had it all figured out. I was showing up, putting in the work and seeing some results, but I didn't realize I was still making the same mistake that holds almost everyone back. And these are just some small details. No. If you miss these, you will waste months, if not years of progress. Today I'm breaking down brutal mistakes that most people never figure out until it's too late. Let's start with the first huge mistake that most people do, and you see it all over social media. When you scroll through TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, you see insane physiques all the time. There are guys out there that go from average to your dream physique in a couple of months. Every time you scroll, you see a guy doing 30-day challenge, insane before and afters, or some influencer talking about they know the secret to building muscle. And when you see this stuff every day, it gets in your head. You start to tell yourself, if they can do it, I can too. So you go all in the gym, you train every day, you drop sugar and junk food so you're super consistent with the diet, you grind harder than everyone else for a month or two. But here's the trap that almost no one talks about. That all-in mentality, it destroys your mental health. Being super strict might feel good for a few weeks, but when real life kicks in and you realize that it takes time to build muscle, this is what kills you. Because of your fake expectations for social media, you think that you can also make a huge transformation in a short period of time like everybody else, when in reality it's not that easy. So you start doubting yourself. Is it really worth going to the gym, putting in all the effort and time to build muscle? So what happens? You start to take the gym less and less serious, and eventually you quit. And then the cycle repeats itself. You go to the gym again, you go all in, you quit. Then you start to blame it on your genetics or your discipline, when in reality the process was broken from the beginning. Now I know this because I was at the same spot as you. I made this mistake too, but I learned from this. Here's the truth. The people who have built an aesthetic physique understands two things. The first being, it takes time, a lot of time. This is a marathon, not a sprint. No matter how perfect you eat and train, you can't build your dream physique in a month or two. The second thing they understand is that consistency isn't just important, it's everything. They know how many times a week they can work out, how many days a week they can be strict, and they stick with that week after week. Here's how I like to look at it. When you take the gym seriously, you build friction in your mind, and you need to find the sweet spot where you have enough friction in your mind that your discipline can handle. Because if you got too much friction, well, the friction will win, and it's a matter of time before you quit the gym. A lot of people who go all in from the beginning fall for this trap. So I don't want you to fall for this trap and build too much friction in your mind and then quit after a month or two. This is what I want you to do. Try to go to the gym 3 times a week. If you see that that's easy, bump it up to 4 and then 5. The same thing with your diet. Begin with making small changes, and then over time make more drastic changes, and you will be able to see what you can handle. So please lower your expectation, be real with what you can handle, and always trust the process. If you do this week by week, you keep showing up, consistency will win. Now that we have this figured out, there's still another trap that a lot of people fall for. Whenever you scroll through TikTok or YouTube, there's always some trend talking about building muscle faster that nobody knows about. Let me give you a realistic scenario that people fall for. You're on push-pull legs, and then a new trend come out on social media talking about upper-lower is the best workout split. So you switch split, and then a few weeks go by, now everyone's talking about full body. So you switch split again, and then another few weeks go by, and now you're on Arnold split, and this cycle never ends. And for this scenario, I can relate to it too, because I used to do the same thing. Whenever a new trend came out, I used to follow it, always making small changes to my exercise selection or workout split. And the reason why I did that is because it felt good. It felt like I made progress, when in reality I did not. And the truth is, I was just wasting my time. All those changes, those new hacks, it never gave me the results I wanted. Do you know why? It's because every time you chase a new trend, you always press reset button on your progress. You never let your body or your mind adapt to what you're actually doing, because this endless cycle of always trying something new felt really good. The dopamine hit you get from trying new things every few weeks is addictive, but in reality what nobody tells you is real growth isn't flashy, it's boring. It's about doing the same things over and over. Here's what I've learned: if you want to make real progress, you have to give your workout split, your exercise selection, your planning a chance. You can't make a real transformation in 3 weeks. And yeah, you can always make some minor tweaks to improve and make your planning more efficient, but you at least have to give it a chance. So before you follow the next trend and change your training, ask yourself, have I actually given this a fair shot? If you keep bouncing from trend to trend, you will be stuck forever. You have to actually commit and trust the process. This is how you stick out from the rest of the people and succeed. Now we know that your training is only one part of the equation. The second part is your diet, and we know that everyone messes up their diet in the beginning at least. A lot of people who are overweight have the right goal in mind. They want to lose fat and build muscle at the same time, but the way they go about it is wrong. I have a friend who I work out with. When he started going to the gym, he was consistent with his training, but when he came to his diet, he barely ate anything. He ate as much as a child, and the result of that is that he made really slow gains in the gym. Now the crazy part is that we know that in your first year, that is when you will make the most progress, and he made very slow progress because he barely ate anything. He took his diet to the extreme, basically starved himself, and because of all the friction that built up in his mind, eventually he snapped and started to binge it. He used to eat pizza, hamburgers, drink milkshake, so all of his progress went down the drain, and this was an endless cycle. And when he used to starve himself, it's not like he got any protein, so he barely made any progress in the gym. So here's the lesson: don't set yourself up with a diet that you can't handle. If you go too extreme, there's a risk that you won't get enough nutrients and protein. Plus, there's a higher chance of you breaking and start binge eating. Remember, it took you years to get out of shape, so why would you be so naive to think that you can undo all of that damage in a few weeks? If you want real results, focus on what actually works. Eat 0.8 to 1.2 grams of protein per pound of body weight. Have a balanced diet. Eat healthy. Now, I know that this sounds boring, but these are the things that actually work. So now, to summarize everything, pause the video and look at the screen. And now, if you want to learn how I trained my arms like a maniac for 1.5 years and how you can do the same, click on this video right here.